welcome back to the Women's Fellowship 40-Day Bible Study. In our last meeting, we discussed about the definition of fellowship and what it can give us, as well as the importance of church and testimonies. If you decided to do the homework and tried writing your testimony out, feel free to post them in the comments section if you feel comfortable to do so. Each testimony is unique, personal, with no right or wrong answer. I'll post mine too, because I'm a student of the Word as well, so your homework is my homework. Today's discussion will start out by defining the word and meaning, worship. When we hear the word worship, most of us think about being in church, lifting our hands, singing and praying, and leaving church feeling pretty good. Yes, but worship is so much more. According to the Bible, the definition of worship is an admiring response to God and closing ourselves in acts of surrender, love, devotion, and expression. Worship is your spirit responding to God's spirit. When worshiping Him, be motivated by love, thanksgiving, and delight, not duty. As discussed in Day 2, being a Christian is more than being in a religion, it's a relationship with God. And being in a relationship/friendship with God means that you can tell Him anything. I know in our last meeting we discussed that we need to be wary about how much isolation we get when studying by ourselves. Yes, keep that in mind, but every Christian needs alone time with God. For many of us, we sometimes feel like we need to get away from our daily routine in order to worship. We need to go out and retreat, a vacation, just get away from the world. But that's just because we haven't learned to practice God's presence, when we can feel Him all the time, anytime. True, we can't spend the whole day studying the Bible, but we can at least think about it thoroughly throughout the day. That's the importance of memorizing Bible verses. If you don't have any Bible verses memorized, it's like having a gun without bullets. You can also try praying throughout the day. I remember as a kid, I used to pray over every meal with the parents, and then sometimes before bed. I won't deny that the world has been a bit busier, and distractions are always on the prowl, so try this. Shorter conversational prayers continuously throughout the day versus long sessions of complex prayers. Worship is a lifestyle of enjoying God, loving Him, and giving ourselves to Him to be used for His purposes. When anything in creation fulfills its purpose, it brings glory to God. Living the rest of your life for the glory of God will require a change in priorities, schedule, relationships, and everything else. Real worship costs. You have just enough time to do God's will. If you can't get it all done, it means you're trying to do more than God intended you to do. According to Pastor Rick Warren, it's usually meaningless work, not overwork, that wears us down, strips our strength, and robs our joy. But don't worry, Jesus will give you everything you need to live for Him. Here are ways to glorify Him. Worship, loving other believers, being like Christ, telling others about Him, and serving others with our spiritual gifts, which we'll talk more about in the upcoming weeks. Bringing pleasure to God is called worship. Every act of enjoyment becomes an act of worship when you thank God for it. It's far more than music. There's no such thing as Christian music, only Christian lyrics. You can be listening to the loudest bass-boosting song, and it can still be dubbed a Christian song. As long as there's Christian lyrics, it's the words that make a song sacred, not the tune. God's heart is not touched by tradition in worship, but by passion and commitment. Your biggest distraction in worship is yourself. Your interests in worrying about what others think about you, like feeling awkward about standing there with your hands out. The best style of worship is the one that most authentically represents your love for God. You don't bring glory to God by trying to be someone He never intended you to be. He wants you to be yourself. When God's at the center of your life, you worship. When He's not, you worry. Worrying is the warning light that God has been shoved to the sidelines. What's there to worry about? If you know how to worry, you know how to meditate. So meditate on God and what He's taught you. Well, that's it for Day 3. For your homework, try relaxing and getting comfortable in church. Don't worry about what others might think. You came there to worship the Lord, and so should everyone's mentality. Any time spent criticizing others is time that could be spent ministering and worshiping. If you have time to criticize, you have time for much more important things. Well, see you in the next one.